Hello, and welcome to the 9th Annual National Stand Down to Prevent Falls in Construction. The reason we do this stand down, and the reason it is so critically important, is that every year, falls from elevation are the leading cause of worker death outside of traffic accidents. In 2020, 351 of the 1,000 construction fatalities and 645 of the almost 4,800 fatalities in all industries were from falls. The goal at every job or work site should be 0 fatalities or injuries related to falls. It is frustrating and heartbreaking to know that virtually all of these incidents could have been prevented with the right equipment and training, but perhaps most importantly, the right commitment to safety, a commitment that makes safety integral to how we plan, supervise, and perform work. If you are watching this video, all of us at OSHA appreciate your interest in preventing worker injury and deaths from falls and ask you to join with us and our many partners to spread the word and grow the commitment to ensuring that work done at elevated heights is planned and performed safely. Now is the time for employers to have a conversation with employees about fall hazards, training, and your company's safety expectations. Every workplace can start on the path to safer work. There are easy and practical solutions to preventing falls that any business can incorporate. It is often as simple as using a guardrail and placing hole covers. There are also practical and workable solutions for wearable fall protection where it is needed. Remember, working to prevent falls is not just limited to today or this week. It is a year-round commitment. I'd like to thank you for participating in this year's event. It is good to see so many different industries participating, as well as those representing small business. OSHA is proud to partner with so many leading organizations to support workers in this effort. Next, you will hear from Scott Earnest from NIOSH, followed by Scott Ketcham from here at OSHA, and Chris Cain from CPWR. Again, I want to thank you for your time.
Okay, good afternoon. It's great to be with you today. The campaign to prevent falls in construction began in 2012 with construction stakeholders seeking a way to raise awareness. Falls from heights are the leading cause of fatalities in construction, with those coming disproportionately from small residential contractors. The stand down takes its cue from the military, where operations stop or stand down when a critical safety problem is identified. The National Safety Stand Down is a voluntary event where employers stop work and meet with employees to discuss safety. The campaign encourages everyone in the construction industry to work safely and use the right equipment to reduce falls. So why are we focusing on falls? Falls are the leading cause of death in construction and have been for many years. In 2020, there were 353 fatal falls out of 1,034 total fatalities in the construction industry. Many of those deaths were preventable. By helping to raise awareness about the hazards of falls from roofs, ladders, and scaffolds, the campaign and stand down are focused on reducing deaths and injuries from construction falls. The Focus 4 hazards represent the leading causes of fatalities in construction in any given year. The 4 hazards are falls, struck by, electrocutions, and caught in between. They typically represent over 60% of the causes of construction fatalities. Falls is a leading cause of construction worker fatalities. The difference in number of fatalities from falls and the other 3 hazards is substantial. The next several slides are charts from CPWR using Bureau of Labor Statistics C4 data. This slide shows the Focus 4 hazards annually from 2011 to 2019. As you can see, falls are in dark blue, struck by is in orange, electrocutions are in light blue, and then caught in between is in gray. But obviously, the largest percentage of this is the falls, the fatalities from the falls, where each year it ranges from a low of 260 up to 401. This slide shows the average number of fatal injuries by top event or exposure between 2018 and 2020. Slips, trips, and falls were the most common, at 376, with 95% of these being falls to a lower level, or 358. Beneath that, transportation incidents were the second most common at 273, with over half of those, or 57%, resulting from roadway incidents involving a motorized vehicle. Contact with objects and equipment was a leading cause of non-fatal injuries from 2018 to 2020, averaging 25,000 per year, or nearly a third of all total injuries. Struck by objects or equipment injuries were the most common in this group, averaging roughly 15,000 a year. Slips, trips, and falls were the second highest category for non-fatal injuries, averaging around 23,000 injuries a year, with falls to a lower level accounting for over half, or 53% of the total. Not all workers have the same risk of experiencing a work-related injury, even when they have the same job. Occupational health inequities are avoidable differences in work-related disease, injuries, or fatalities linked with social, economic, and environmental disadvantages, including work arrangements, socio-demographic characteristics, and organizational factors. From 2011 to 2020, fatal injury rates increased most significantly for Hispanic workers, including an alarming spike between 2018 and 2020. This group's non-fatal injury rates saw a smaller decrease than among non-Hispanic workers. As previously documented, Hispanic workers are an increasingly significant part of the construction workforce, representing approximately a third. The fatal injury rate increased in all demographic groups examined during this time period from 2011 to 2020. The largest increases were for workers under 55 years old, Hispanics, and males. In 2020, the fatal injury rate for workers 55 or older was 51% higher than that of younger workers under 55. The injury rate was 42% higher among Hispanic workers than among non-Hispanic workers in 2020. Interestingly, the fatal injury rate for Hispanic workers increased roughly 46.5% from 2018 to 2020, while the rate decreased 6.3% for non-Hispanic workers. Males had about a 470% higher fatal injury rate than females in 2020. This slide shows the NIOSH construction website and many resources that are available there. On the left side, you have COVID-19 guidance and information on suicides and opioids. In the center column, we've got a number of communication products, including information on respiratory protection, COVID-19, the CPWR's small study program. Finally, on the right is a new infographic related to the opioids epidemic and impact on construction workers. Our construction program addresses safety and health and falls across the construction industry. The strength of the program is our many partners and collaborators who play important roles in helping to advance the Falls campaign and our many initiatives. Thank you all. With that, I'll turn things over to Scott Ketcham, the Director of Construction at OSHA.
Thank you, Dr. Earnest, for that great introduction. And now we're going to go into how to utilize a fall stand down to help you save a life and prevent a fall in the workplace. I'm Scott Ketcham. I'm Director of Construction with OSHA, and we're going to talk about the National Safety Stand Down today. And I am so happy to be with you here today for this great event. I would like to say in the very beginning that we'd like you to tweet along with us so that we can follow you on hashtag Stand Down for Safety. So please do that and tell us the good things you're doing out there for the fall stand down. Our message on this for the fall prevention campaign is simple. There are three things that you can do to help assist with preventing falls in the workplace, and that is simple three words: plan, provide, and train. Plan ahead to get the job done safely. Make sure that you're bringing floor hole covers and other measures into place to prevent people from falling from one level to another, putting up guardrails in the workplace, or using fall prevention techniques and equipment that will prevent workers from falling. Provide the right equipment. Make sure that it's at the job site when they need it. And most importantly, train employees, train everyone to use the equipment safely in the workplace. Again, fall prevention is a daily, year-long event. It's not just during the stand down. It should be at every point when you are working at heights. Plan, provide, train. Now I want to introduce you to our Safety Stand Down website. If you haven't been to this location to check out our website, there's plenty of resources in it available to assist you in your fall stand down. It also has lists of events that are happening in your area, and they're listed by region and by state. So you could easily find out if there's a fall stand down going on near you, which you could participate in with your employees as well. Most importantly, it also has a section in there for a certificate of participation, which we encourage you to utilize. Tells us how what went good with your fall stand down and the things that we can do to improve the program. And we look forward to people utilizing our webpage to help you have a great stand down. Also, on our stand down resources, there are great examples of things that you can utilize to help workers in your workplace understand the prevention techniques and how to solve simple solutions for preventing falls in the workplace. One example is Fall Prevention Training Guide that we have on our webpage. It's free for all to utilize, and it's a great example of how you can teach and learn about preventing falls in the workplace. In addition, we have resources like hard hat stickers, where you can order hard hat stickers to participate in your fall stand down in the coming weeks. In addition, we always like to highlight our partners in the fall stand down. And for this, we have CPWR, the Center for Construction Research and Training, and NIOSH. And we're proud to be partners with both CPWR and NIOSH in this fall stand down today. And finally, one last thing that I wanted to leave you with today. I mentioned that you could get a certificate of participation in the fall stand down and that link on our webpage, but also I wanted to say that we've made some innovations on this as well. You see in the lower right corner, there's a QR code that you can scan that will take you to the page or how you can fill out for your certificate of recognition. This certificate actually tells you how that the Secretary of Labor and myself, the Director of Construction, thank you for your participation in the fall stand down. And if possible, we want you to share your fall stand down experience and pictures with us because we could post them on our webpage with your permission. So we're looking forward to hearing from you in regards to those certificates of recognition and your comments. I thank you for participating in the fall stand down. And now for Chris Cain from CPWR.
Well, thanks, Scott. I appreciate that introduction. So I'm going to present about a list of ideas that we at CPWR put out for stand-down activities, along with the links and resources to help contractors carry out those activities. To kick off the week, I'd like to share those ideas and resources with you now. In a recent CPWR survey on underlying causes of falls from heights, almost 30% of contractors indicated that the lack of planning is a primary cause of falls, making it the most selected option. Lack of planning is also associated with lower likelihood of using fall protection. The odds of using fall protection were 71% lower for individuals whose employer or competent person did not do any planning compared to those whose employer or competent person did do planning, or they were not sure. The stand down is the perfect opportunity to create and strengthen your written fall protection and rescue plans. Make sure they are tailored to each job site and crew. CPWR has resources in both English and Spanish to help you get started, including a complete template for a written fall protection plan and a short, streamlined planning list for smaller contractors. We're also publishing a new tip sheet on planning for fall rescue in support of the stand down this year. If you're watching this event, you already know about our recorded webinars, but you may not know how many are available along with the PDFs of the presentations, including a growing number in Spanish. In addition, we're doing interagency stand-down kickoff each year, and CPWR has partnered with a number of trainers and subject matter experts from organizations such as the National Roofing Contractors Association, the Roofers Union, and the Latino Worker Safety Center to hold webinars on topics such as personal fall arrest systems, working safely on roofs, and what happens after a fall is arrested. A key component to an effective training is making sure that it is easily understood by all members of the crew. Use the stand down to assess whether your training and resources are culturally and linguistically appropriate. Consider hiring lead workers and trainers that speak the primary language of your crew, getting input from workers whose primary language is not English to determine what improvements need to be made, and using resources from CPWR, NIOSH, and OSHA, and other organizations to supplement existing training. Another great activity to engage in is inspecting equipment in a way that involves all workers to make sure that they know and understand the procedures for inspecting, tagging, and removing access equipment or PPE from use due to safety concerns. Think about how those procedures fit with other safety checks such as JHAs and safety checklists to make sure all workers know what to check for and how often. Make sure a competent person has identified the fall hazards and solutions, and that those hazards and solutions are then discussed with all impacted workers. If you're trying to fit an activity every day this week, or if you only have a short amount of time, you can still participate. Consider using short videos or podcast episodes from stopconstructionfalls.com, and then engaging in a discussion by asking workers what they've learned and how they might apply what they've learned to work more safely. So personal testimonials are very powerful. Ask management and crew members to share stories if they've experienced a fall themselves or perhaps witnessed one on another job site. Hearing from those we know and respect can be very impactful, but NIOSH and CPWR also have a few resources to provide information about select fall fatalities across the U.S. The NIOSH Fatality Assessment and Control Evaluation Program, or FACE, conducts investigations that help identify factors that contribute to fatal injuries. The reports are published, provide details on the incident, as well as recommendations for what should have been done differently to prevent the fatality. CPWR's Fatality Mapping Project gathers data from OSHA incident reports and online media to populate a dashboard that captures about 70% of all construction fatalities and provides details on geographic information and other circumstances for each incident. You can use the dashboard to look at falls by year or by state or other filtering ways. In addition, there are several testimonial type videos included in the list on the previous slide that can be shared with workers. Toolbox Talks or Tailgate Talks are one of the most popular ways for companies to participate in the stand down, and many conduct one each day of the week. The link at the bottom of this slide provides access to all the free CPWR Toolbox Talks listed on this slide, as well as talks from other organizations covering all their fall-related topics. We always stress the importance of using the stand down as an opportunity to talk to crews about the fall safety. That includes asking for their insights and input on current practices and procedures. Depending upon the size of your stand down, you could talk to workers in small groups or one-on-one, and you could ask for written submissions, or you could even make it into a contest where the employee with the best idea wins a prize. The benefit of this process is twofold. Not only will it help identify the weaknesses in your current fall prevention and protection methods, but it will also help to promote safety leadership among workers and to improve the overall safety climate on your job sites. For those interested in learning more about safety climate benefits and other ways to access and improve worker safety climate, visit the links on this slide. Many manufacturers or suppliers are happy to send representatives to job sites to provide demonstrations of personal fall arrest systems, safer access equipment, and other fall prevention and protection solutions. You can also contact your OSHA regional office or consultation office to ask what assistance they can provide. OSHA and partners have also put out 2 webinars on personal fall arrest systems and Earnest fit, one in English and one in Spanish. And we have a list of PPE fitting for women on cpwr.com as well. As a final activity, don't forget to have the company representative complete and print the certificate from OSHA to recognize the time spent participating. As mentioned earlier by Scott, this is the way that we collectively, through the stand down and campaign, track participation. So please fill out the certificate. For more resources on than those I mentioned, I recommend visiting the one-stop stand-down shop on stopconstructionfalls.com. We have additional resources from all three of our organizations available here, including infographics and posters, print and PDF versions of hazard alert cards, a social media messaging guide, and data reports and other research findings. We also have a live webinar on Tuesday, May 3rd, which will be recorded and posted on stopconstructionfalls.com. We'll be joined for a third time by a panel from ANSI ASSP Z359 committee members and fall protection experts to answer questions from the audience. We've done this event twice before, once in 2020 and again in 2021, and both times we got more questions than we could possibly get through in 90 minutes. So we're excited to have our panel back and share more practical information about fall protection. I hope to see you at that event. On behalf of CPWR, thank you for watching and thank you for participating in the 2022 Safety Stand Down.